Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Core Digest. I am Oyinpreye Krumale. A lot of stories are in the fore on the polity, process and industrial development limited company for future of their assets and what they have over here to the federal government. That's the judgment that's in the fore on the Federal High Court. And also we do have the National Executive Council, the National Economic Council having a meeting yesterday where some other things were discussed. Of course, the National Livestock Transformation Program has kicked off as so many state chief executives have keyed into it. We also have the CBN's new transaction charges. People are asking, is it a corporate extortion or is this the way this kind of policy should be at the fore pushed to Nigerians at this moment in time when people are saying there is hardship in the land, or the evacuation of 315 Nigerians from South Africa. These are some other stories staring us in the face today. We are going to be discussing about the corporate extortion question where people are posing to the CBN and of course the federal government, and also the evacuation of Nigerians from South Africa. First of all, we'll go into the news, reviews and stories making the headlines this morning, where the ad hoc committee set up by the federal government to stem the tide of crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism has taken a different dimension of discussion in the National Economic Council meeting. Watch this.
And that if this situation is not contained, by full year we would have lost in excess of 2.7 billion US dollars. The losses that were recorded for the first half of this year were broken down into as follows. The Nembe Creek trunk line, the NCTL, lost 9.2 million barrels. The Trans-Niger pipeline, the TNP, we lost 8.6 million barrels. The Trans-Forcados pipeline, TFP, we lost about 3.9 million barrels on that line, while the Trans-Escravos pipeline, TSEP, we lost about 877,000 barrels. That there is a need to restructure the maintenance and ownership of all pipelines as a way of tackling the perpetrators of crude and other products. That we should have a legal framework that will ensure that criminals are duly prosecuted, imprisoned, and their assets confiscated. That there should be special courts to try offenders and also have a special legal task force to coordinate the prosecution of arrested offenders, as well as train special judges to handle cases of oil theft. That NNPC should engage with the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, to identify the markets for stolen crude petroleum products across the continent.
The plan is not targeted only on cows, but a holistic strategy to address animal husbandry. The plan has 6 pillars. 1 is conflict resolution. Number 2 is justice and peace. 3 is humanitarian relief and early recovery. As to the IDPs. Then number 4 is human capital development. Number 5 is cross-cutting issues. And number 6 is economic development. The committee proposed an implementation guidelines to guide federal government and states.
The committee has in the past 3 years achieved the following. We've moved up 24 places in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business ranking, and 32 Nigerian states led by Kaduna, Enugu, Abia, Lagos, and Anambra states have improved in their ease of doing business environment. And that an independent survey adjusts Nigeria's reform as impactful in terms of reduction in time, cost, and procedures of doing businesses.
Justice Inyang Eko of the Federal High Court has ordered the forfeiture of Process and Industrial Development Limited Company of all its assets to the federal government. This followed accusations of fraud. tax evasion and economic sabotage.
And also confirmed to the court that at no point in time did P&ID ever had the land in Nigeria that would have kickstarted the project at any point in time at all. And given the plea of guilty, the court entered judgment.
Not to prolong the matter. And I think it is the right decision. Having considered the facts and antecedents of the matter. So that is the right thing to do.
Following the security meeting that was held in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Mr. President has ordered increased surveillance on pipeline and insecurity generally in the country. Of course, Mr. Mohammed Adamu, the Inspector General of Police, was on hand to give us first-hand information.
Just finished a security briefing, and we've noticed within this quarter that the security situation in the country is stable. We made comparison of what had happened in the previous quarters and then this quarter, and we saw that there is tremendous decrease in kidnapping, banditry, and armed robbery, and even act of cultism. You can see from the situation in Northwest, banditry has reduced tremendously, kidnapping also have gone down, and we have statistics to back it. Now, having noticed that, we've been charged by Mr. President to do more. He wants to see a near zero crime society in the whole of the country. So we've been charged to do more than what we are doing now.
The federal government says it places priority on human development, human capital development, and the resources in different ministries, departments, and agencies, where the Minister of Power, the Minister of Works and Housing, I beg your pardon, Fashola, was on ground going through some mechanical schools and training centers in the Federal Capital Territory.
For those who want to see human capacity development, it's happening not only for those who don't have jobs, it's also happening for those who have jobs to give them new skills to improve them. People who have knowledge, who have skills, are certainly on their way out of poverty, without a doubt. The more you know, the more skills you have, the better you will be. That's the Buhari government for you in terms of human capital development. But you're also seeing, apart from that, the potential benefit to the public service. They're from different ministries, departments, and agencies. They're already committing, even before completion of their course, that they're going to be better people.
The federal government has said it will do all within its capacity to give support on every Nigerian that has returned from South Africa with respect to the xenophobic attacks on foreign nationals and most especially Nigerians in South Africa. In doing this, the federal government, through Abike Dabiri-Erewa's office, is calling on persons with goodwill to also come forth and support their brothers and sisters.
The minister will be communicating with his counterpart in South Africa, in terms of compensation. But as I said, as they settle in, the state governors are getting involved. I'm sure everybody will be taken care of one way or the other. We have to ensure that they lost everything they have, not because they're criminals, but because they're black and Nigerians. So that's what I said, we all have to do this together. It's not the job of one person. So when you just offer a helping hand, it will go a long way for every one of us.
I've been doing such things all over the country. The thing is that I'm not a politician and I don't want to be making noise about this. I believe I'm doing the work of God. I believe I seek the face of God in all this, not for any personal self-aggrandizement. That is why when I see politicians wanting to hijack this issue, I get angry. Because it was not for politics, it was for the lives of people, lives of the indigent, lives of people who were stranded in South Africa. Some of these people, for 15 years, were stranded in South Africa.
I'm in South Africa 6 years. I'm jobless. I'm staying in the street. Nothing for me. I applied for job. How many years? They said they want to give Nigeria job. The terrible thing and what happened last week now, the way they are killing Nigeria, for like they are killing Nigeria in form of chicken, burning Nigeria car, burning the shop. So now I just leave my things, I don't come back. It's not nothing for me.
And that's a rapper news review and stories making the headlines this morning. We'll go on a break. And when we return, Core Digest continues to stay tuned.